And welcome to Stunthanger Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthanger Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. to Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch and be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthanger Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthanger Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthanger Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, At the Bench is right below in memory of our friends, and I'm regarding the Stunthanger Forum website. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthanger Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthanger.com/SMF. That's stunthanger.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. Now, when you register, you must use your real first and last name when you register, put a space between them. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthanger will not approve you. Now, if you're approved and can come into the show if you'd like, but you decide to just watch the show instead, that's no problem. You can ask your questions or comments using the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or your questions a part of the show. Now, sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do that during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthanger video hangouts that I host or the many building videos that Sparky does on this YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share the videos, comments on the videos. All these engagements help the Stunthanger YouTube channel grow. Please also consider joining Stunthanger's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account, and I don't have to do this, but I believe in it. I see the value in it. I'm telling you, it's really valuable. I mean, for 17 cents a day, you get access to Sparky, who has over 60 years experience building these beautiful airplanes. And in the gallery in my show, we have people who have been a world champion. We've had people that are national champions. We have quite a few people you can stand on their shoulders, and build an airplane and learn how to fly a competitive ship, or just have more fun enjoying your hobby. So please take advantage of this by supporting us. And like I say, if you do the $4.99 a month, that'd be greatly appreciated. Now, if you can't do that for some reason, you can use the super chat. It's right over here below the chat box, like a big $sign. And if you're watching the replay, the super chat's not available, but you can do the super thanks. I believe it's like a heart-shaped icon with a $sign inside that. So please support. Now, when you are a member, when you do the $4.99 a month, you actually have access to member-only videos. Not all the videos that are on this platform are for public consumption. There's some that are private, some for members only. And being a member, you have access to those member-only videos. I know there's some Al Rabe, and there's some of my shows that have been flagged as members only. So please check them out. Now, if you would, if you go to my YouTube channel, if you have any comments or questions, that's how you can best reach me, because I won't be back on Sparky's channel again until Friday. And even though I go in and out of his channel twice a week, I really don't get alerted or prompted for questions or comments, because this is not my channel. Now, my channel is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. That's flying control line stunt. If you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera, me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. It was orange back then and it's white now. That's one of his favorite planes, and it's for good reason. It's a very good flying plane. But check out my channel. Check me out flying his plane at the Nationals. Check out. You see see how I do. Give me a like or a comment on that, and I'd appreciate that. Also share, subscribe, and like on my channel as well. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't do things or say or do things you wouldn't do or say around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at the Stunthangar forum, and I'm doing that right now. Hope everybody had a good weekend. The link is posted, so go ahead and click refresh. If you haven't seen it, it should be there now. And let me go ahead and do this also. Making my way to what I call the control panel, and just bear with me momentarily. Let me clear up some of these tabs so that hopefully my channel will, its bit rate will be all right. Let's see here. Making my way to the control panel. YouTube Studio. There we go. I didn't go flying today. It's kind of rare, but you know what? I just had so much I had to do and couldn't get around to flying today. But I hope to make it out there maybe tomorrow, for sure Friday. I think the next contest, I'm actually considering Jim Hoffman, the Southwestern Regionals, and the Vintage Stunt Championship. Looks like I have Caffeine with me. Great, that's awesome. Hey, Caffeine,
Hi,
how you
Charles.
doing?
Good, good.
I'm still making my way to the control panel. Just bear with me for a quick second, and I'll give you my undivided attention. And let me.
No problem. Take your time.
All right, sounds good. And thanks for coming in early. I appreciate it. That way I don't have to do a song and dance.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is first in the chat box. He says, evening. Well, good evening, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Thank you very much for coming in. And Gary Sinclair, who's the first member of our U channel, he's in here and he says, like provided. Thank you, Gary. He says, I have a guest trying to sleep, so I won't say anything, just listening. You all have a good time tonight. All right, Gary, I won't ask you too many questions. And then Mark Lumen, who's also a member. So we have two members in the chat box. Mark Lumen says, got you like. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. And I see that since then, Howard Rush has joined us, and also Gary Sinclair. So you're first up to bat, Caffeine. So what's happening with you?
I've just bought a new product, P40R.
Really? Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. Where'd you get that at?
It's actually after I shared my story after finding that Oriental in Indonesia. I got in touch with the shop owner, and then after that he shared more detail about the stock and the price list, and then on the list I saw the P40. Yeah, they still have P40R and Cardinal R in his storage, and then okay, I'll take it.
Good for you. That's great. But I don't know if there's any more P40 ARFs available. I know they have. I know the electric ones are gone.
Mm-hmm.
I called a couple weeks ago. Spoke to Deborah at Brodax.
Mm-hmm.
So good for you. I don't know what they have left, but yeah, they're getting slim. So very good fun.
So I know you also have one, Charles. What motor do you have in your?
I have a LA46 on mine.
Okay. So what do you think about putting a product 40 engine?
I think that'd be a good idea. I think I added a little bit of tail weight to mine. So if you put the Brodax 40, you probably won't need to put as much or any tail weight.
Okay, I see. And yeah, also when I talked to the shop owner, and then remember that I also shared that he he still has the product 40 engines, and
Yeah,
it turns out to be he he still has like five or six more in stock
great.
of product 40.
Good for
So
you.
I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna get one. I'm not sure if I'm going to put my Enya SS40 or getting a new product 40 for the P40.
And those are good engines. I have two or three Bodak 40s and I like them. They're
Mm-hmm.
light, powerful. They have a real
Mm-hmm.
nice 4.2 brake.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with that motor. So if you can buy another one from him, I would. I don't know.
Ah, yeah.
I don't know what the prospects are of them manufacturing anymore. I don't know. I know
Mm-hmm.
that things are. I've heard that things are, a little bit different as far as when John Brodak was around.
Yeah. Nice.
Now
Yeah,
that
I
he's
know.
not around, the business is
Uh-huh.
different. So I would
Yep.
get an extra one if I was you. You could always could sell it.
Yep. Yep. I'm yeah, I'm aware of that.
Very good.
Mhm.
Let me talk to Howard Rush. Hey Howard, thanks for coming in.
Hi.
Good to see you. I appreciate you coming in, Howard. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you.
Yeah, I represent a representative of the Jive Combat Team is in the house.
That's great.
So what you been up to, Howard?
I've been organizing my shop.
Oh, very good. Very good. I need to do that myself.
It
I
it's been neglected for the summer.
right. I mean, you have all these contests. You've
Been to
been
a
to
lot of
Europe. You've been to a lot of contests. I can understand your shop being out of sorts.
yeah, uh, and yeah,
Now, with my shop, my problem is when I pick up something, there is no space for it. There is no home for it. So sometimes I end up picking it up, trying to find a space for it or a home for it, and then I put it back down because I just
yeah. I'm making homes for things.
yeah, because I typically will put things back. I'm good at putting things away, but my problem is
No place to put them.
there's no place to put stuff.
Yeah,
Trying to find it after you put it away.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's an ongoing frustration in my shop because it's just I got to just probably get rid of stuff, and
oh,
that's easier said than done. That's probably universal amongst us modelers. So
yes,
have you
tired of stuff because everybody's got stuff now.
yeah.
I still
You
have
can
most of the Anderson estate unclaimed.
you can never have too much stuff.
Well, perhaps so.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean about gathering up estates too. So
You got a
dealing
lot
with
of.
that.
I got fuel tanks.
Oh, great. That's very helpful. How many milliamps are those fuel tanks? Yeah, that's my problem. I got some.
How do you stop the electron leaks?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, biggest trouble is I don't even mind, giving this stuff away, but there's nobody around here to just give it away to.
nobody.
So
Right.
I honestly, I think I'm contemplating being really, really ruthless about some of the stuff I have and just throwing it the hell out. I mean, even like old engines and stuff like that. So,
Oh, don't throw them out.
well, if they're incomplete and stuff like that, it's like, what's the matter?
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever been to Bart's house, but he has a really nice display case of
Hmm.
his engines. He has a really beautiful display case of engines. So I can
Hmm.
understand him saying
Now I
don't
have
throw them
four of
out.
them.
You have four of them?
Yeah. I've got some neat old stuff like handles, the old air timers for free flights, just a hodgepodge of neat old stuff that, I hate to see thrown out.
Mhm.
So I don't know what I'll do with it when it's all gone or when I'm
Yeah.
gone.
Well, it's actually, part of the sad story here is there, none of my kids or grandkids or anything like that are terribly interested in it. And I just
Yeah.
don't want to leave them too big a pile to get rid of. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Like Ed Southwick's son did. He threw a lot of good engines in the trash.
mm,
It was sad. It was really sad.
mhm. Well, that's
So
it.
I'm making arrangements for somebody to pick them up, or I can ship them out before I kick the bucket, and hopefully they'll go to a good home. I just don't want all this stuff to go in the trash. It's
Yeah, no,
history. A lot of it's history.
yeah, I'm way past trying to make any money or anything like that off of it. It's just I'm just
Yeah.
pay it forward. If you can use it, pal, it's yours. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if somebody else can use it, go for it. Simple as that. So, but I got some other stuff like, my dad had collected a lot of engine work and stuff like that. He's got an engine. It's a it was in production for a short time. It was Chinese engines called a Tiger Shark 40. They were famous for blowing con rods. So he's got this
Mhm.
otherwise brand new engine with a broken con rod and no
What year?
replacement for it.
What date is that engine? You have any idea?
It was, I think, late 80s. The engine is basically
okay.
brand new with I went so far as asked I even wrote I found out that the importer still exists, and I wrote him a note, told him what I had, and asked him any chance that they had any parts. And he said, well, we haven't carried that engine for 25 years. All right. So,
Yeah.
and it's a modern design, Schnurl, and everything. They had a reputation for being really high winding engines, and they'd wind up tight and blow the conrod. So,
Yeah, there you go.
so what's the value on that, Bart? Irreplaceable and not worth a dime. So,
Well, if you knew someone that could make a good conrod for it, probably be a good motor.
until that conrod blew. So,
Well,
I
I
don't know.
mean, depends on the material they made it out of. If it could be made out of better material and bushed properly, maybe it'd
Yeah.
be all right.
Yeah, I agree. But then you'd have a one of a kind motor with,
Yeah, you would.
no duplicates or anything like that. So
I'll put it in my case.
with your air timers, with your free flight timers.
With my air timers.
Exactly.
I got boxes of old props I haven't even dug into yet.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's it. And I know what
No, I understand.
I'm pretty sure what Howard is going through, because I got a hunch. Mr. Granderson was a collector too, wasn't he? Or accumulator. Maybe that's a better word.
He I've noticed that he went through a lot of Magnum 36s, I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he apparently went to a lot of effort to make things look effortless.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. You got to work hard to make it look that easy. So
yeah.
Hi, Sparky. I see you. And Bart, so what you been up to, Bart?
Well, a little up in the shop, a little on my Pathfinder. I was really mulled over this tissue thing we were talking about the other day, and I think that's a little too light for me. I think I'm going to silk span this airplane instead of using monocoat. I can't find monocoat anyway, so I think I'm going to silk span it. And
good.
I'm trying to sell some radio control stuff for a friend of mine. We've become good friends, and her husband died, and her son died 3 months before her husband did.
Oh man,
just really sad, but she's a really good lady, and I'm trying to help her out. So I got a barn full of stuff up there, and so I'm trying to help her with that, and going to work out 3 days a week, and trying to get myself in shape a little bit. So trying to reinvent myself a little bit, so I'm not dead tired after 3 flights.
Good,
Mhm.
good. Absolutely, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Absolutely, guys.
Well, I'm,
Got to
I'm,
stay in
I'm
shape.
being active. I'm just not modeling much right now,
Are you going to go to the Southwestern Regionals?
I'll probably be judging it if things go like I think they will.
I got the
Yeah,
email from Jim Hoffman regarding both the Southwestern Regionals and the VSC.
yeah. Well, I'm going to try to have the twin done for VSC. We'll see how that goes. I've got to make 2 trips to California and Christmas and Thanksgiving, and that's about a week each. But I've got to make 2 trips. I can't stay there all the time.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, just it's busy. I'm doing things. I'm being active anyway. I'll be 81 here pretty quick. So
Wow, very good. So will you be coming, how far south in California will you be coming?
uh, east of Whittier Narrows, about 20 minutes.
Okay.
In,
I mean, I don't know if you'd be interested, but I can meet you up there, possibly.
oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I've got another friend down by Dana Point whose wife has completely lost her mind. She didn't even know who she is. So he's had to commit her. And I met Larry at West Point when I was stationed there, and we've maintained contact all these years. So I'm going to try to get together with him. I don't have any time when I have to be back. So yeah, we can arrange that. That'd be nice. Good to see you.
Yeah, we could either maybe go flying at Whittier or if you have, I don't know, who knows? I mean, I have a nice flying field.
Now, are you in San Diego or
Yeah,
by
just
San Diego?
outside of San Diego. I'm in Escondido.
Escondido, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I could even come home that way, and go down the 8. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. That'd be great. That'd be great.
okay, we'll work on that. Sounds
Sounds
great,
good.
Charles.
Sounds
Yeah, it'd
good
be
to
good
me.
to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sparky, hey Sparky, how you doing today?
Doing good. All right.
What you been up to? I know I've been missing some of your videos. I just been so busy, but I saw something about the wheel pants that you was doing on the I guess your latest Viper. Is that what they're
I
for?
I scrapped them. They were going to be way too heavy. They're going to be like 2.5 ounces a
Oh
piece.
wow. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So I went with wheel. I'm going to go with wheel skirts. I bent the wire today and got that all fixed up. I worked on this. I took this to Oklahoma, not Oklahoma, Arkansas, or wherever the hell it was, wherever Joe Gilbert's from, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
And I dropped the camera on the rudder. Well, I fixed the rudder and I painted that today.
Looks
You're
nice.
not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I know. These cameras, all the wires, you trip over the wire and falls down. The guy wanted to see it, and sure enough, I happened to set it right there where the camera was going to be, and it died. So I'm working on that, and it's ready to polish out now, so I can start buffing on it.
And it looks so pretty. Yeah, these Vipers are really pretty.
They are. They are.
It was ahead of its time. I think I should have been. I hear you. I should have been flying these all along, but I gave them up. Started flying other people's stuff, SB-11s and crap like that, lumber wagons.
Now, in comparison to the Junar, which I've flown, is the wing area bigger or smaller?
The wing on this is a little bit bigger.
Wow.
Pardon my ignorance, Sparky. Is that a classic legal airplane?
N30 now.
In 30s. I don't even know what 30s are. Super 70s?
No, well, no, N30 is 30 years old and rolling, and it only became N30 legal because when Paul wrote it out in the book. So
Okay.
I gotta go get my spaghetti. I'll be back.
All right. Beautiful plane.
Yeah, they are. I don't know how he puts them together so quick.
And so
Yeah, they're I-beams. All right. You get into
Hello,
original
buddy.
on I-beams, they'll go together pretty doggone fast. So
Let me talk to Mark Gerber. He's next, and then Gordon Delaney. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Good, Charles.
What you been up to?
Oh, I went flying today. It was a beautiful day here in Colorado. It was
Oh,
just
that's
like
great.
just
That's
like we
great.
had in Vegas last weekend.
Oh, just like Vegas, and that was great weather.
Real light breeze and temperature was in the 60s.
Nice. What did you fly?
My Ryan,
You're Ryan.
yeah, my PT-20 from Charles Parrott.
I think I've seen that, but I know I haven't seen it fly.
Well, I got a picture here, but my computer is not loading it yet, so I'll have to
Okay.
show it later.
All
Get
right, no
that
problem.
haircut fixed?
He's making progress. He was making the spars last Friday.
Gonna be a while, Sparky.
It'll be a while. Okay. While you're doing that, Mark, let me welcome Gordon Delaney. Hey, Gordon, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Hanging in there.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, got some pain in my right leg here.
Yeah,
Trying to,
I see you massaging your right leg.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. Trying to force the blood down there.
Good, good. Have you made any progress on your Pathfinder?
No, I was a deadbeat again today.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we all need that time to just relax, especially when you don't feel too good. I mean, it's kind of hard to do things even when you're feeling good.
Yeah, well, after building for 70 years, things kind of slowed down.
70 years?
70 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
In my monologue, I mentioned we have people who have 60 years experience. I need to update that.
Yeah,
70 years.
yeah.
What year did you build your first airplane, Gordy?
Pardon?
What year did you build your first airplane?
1952.
52?
Yep.
Mine was 1954.
Well,
I was born in 1954. So,
See, you're just a punk kid.
boy, I guess. That's what I love about flying control line. It's the only place where people still call me kid.
Yes, I
Yes,
know.
that's
Same
it.
here. Yeah, I feel young too doing this hobby.
Well, heck, you're not even shaving yet, are you?
Let me I get you, Sparky, just a second. What do you got there? Oh,
I-
5,000 grit.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I sent Howard a message on the sandpaper. We got cut off at the last stream. I was pulling out the 3,000 and the 5,000. This stuff here is $7 a sheet, and I've got this cut off here, but it has a foam back and it holds the water, and that's what you use to sand dope with or urethane or whatever before you machine buff it.
Yeah, yeah.
You bone it out and it looks all dull and crappy and you go, shit, I just ruined my finish. And then when it polishes up, the scratches go away and it looks great.
Thank you, Sparky.
didn't have any scratches using 5,000.
No, there's not much left.
No, the lowest I've ever gone is 1,000.
Now try that paper. You get it from AutoZone and polish after that. I've been using that and my machine polisher. This here, I used to hand rub them, but it takes too damn long. So I'm using this Snap-on polisher.
Oh yeah.
But you can get, this is real expensive. I don't recommend you buy one of these unless, you know, you got a Snap-on account and you're not going to miss 20 bucks a week or whatever. But you can get one of those from Harbor Freight for about 50 bucks. And it's pretty close to what that is. So sand it with 5,000 and buff it. You get these pads, 20 bucks for 50 off Amazon.
Wow.
That's many damn pads you don't know what to do with.
Those
Yeah.
are basically foam pads then, or what? What are
Yeah, they're different grit of foam pads. You got like this blue one is a medium cut. It has the titties on it to kind of hold the compound. And then you got polishing, which are white and they're less, finer, about
Smooth,
10,000. And I use two different rubbing compounds by 3M. This is rubbing compound, and then there's Finesse-It. Finesse-It is a polishing compound.
Yep, I've got both those, Sparky.
Yeah.
What is the grit equivalent of those?
I think Finesse-It's about 10,000, and the rubbing compound is probably around 5,000.
Okay.
Then you got one more you can go, which is a swirl remover, which you really don't need after you finesse it, but
Couldn't hurt.
it's a lot of damn work to polish, and it takes me months to polish an airplane.
Yeah.
I use the rubbing compound that you have there. Then I would use silver polish, and I'd spend a week doing silver polish. And then I go back and do it again with Finesse-It.
I don't like that Gorham's. Wendy loved it. I think it was crap, but I just go from that to Finesse-It.
Well, that Finesse-It's money it's expensive too, though.
Yeah, $30 a pint. Might even have went up some more.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And somebody was talking about monocoating an airplane. I think that was you, Bart. Monocoat is $30 a roll.
That's why I'm going to silk span this one.
Very, very good.
Well, not only that, it's not made anymore, so it's kind of, find it where you can. So.
Yeah, I don't have any. So.
No, I don't know what it was at the hobby shop. Maybe it was Aura Cover or one of them other, but it was $30 a roll.
Yep.
Danny, all we can see is the top of your head, Bubba.
Yeah, it's better that way, isn't it?
No.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I leaned it back so because I couldn't see my keyboard. I'm in the process of writing you a note, actually. So stand by.
So, Mark Gerber, do you have that picture of the Ryan up?
Still working on it, Charles.
Okay, no problem. Stuart Morrison, how you doing, Stuart?
Good. Yep.
How's your shop coming along? I know you got that was it a hot tub you got out of there, or?
Yeah. So it's I worked on the electrical a bit today, and so I had to do some caulking outside where the doors came out to get the hot tub out. So I got a lot of work yet. So hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll get it so I can at least start back into working on the planes. We'll see.
Very good.
Going flying tomorrow.
Oh, great.
I hope to. Yeah.
I came across a video of Lynn Burrell flying, and it was like the Perfect Circle Flying Club. Where is that at?
I'm not sure. Could be down. It could be in that one might be in Michigan. I'm not sure.
It was a Canadian team trials, I think.
Oh, that would have been out west. They went out. I forget, Manitoba or something. I forget where they went.
Yeah, I saw a video of Lynn flying. That was some good flying.
I might show you a picture of the bean field just for fun, but you go ahead. I'll see if I can pull it up.
All right. And then I'm gonna talk to Philip Bailey and then Tryon. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Thanks for coming in.
Doing great. How are you, Howard? Now that was really smart. How are you?
Doing good.
I'm telling you, it's been a weird, crazy weekend. Trying to deal with some family problem, an aunt that's about to drive us all crazy. But other than that, doing great and making some progress on my airplane.
Oh, good.
Haven't got it finished yet, but I'm still working on it. Hope to fly it Saturday. I'm hoping to get it back together and fly it Saturday. We're having a club meeting down in Huntersville with William Davis and that group, and I'm hoping to take it down there and fly it. So we'll see what happens.
Great. Did that SIG? I think I I showed you a SIG.
You did. You sent me the SIG. You sent me the SIG, and I was going to order it. And Charles, the wood was $5.38, and the shipping was $20. So I figured it was my last resort. I was going to have to order it anyway. And Tom Looper said, "Wait a minute, I've got a piece." Do what? Oh, she's talking to somebody else. Anyway, it ended up being so much that Tommy said, "I got a piece." And he brought me a piece just big enough. So I cut it out of that.
I saw. I had this. Here you go, Sparky. I had a similar situation. I just ordered a much bigger piece to make it worth
look
my
at
while.
that. Oh, that was what I was going to do. I wanted to order a big piece, but then the shipping went really crazy. So I just said, what I'm going to do. Where did you get that for $4.49?
Shaver's Hobby.
Many years ago?
No, 2 days ago. 1 day ago. Yesterday.
Good grief.
Well, weight is that? What's the density of it?
The one piece I used was 3.5 pounds.
Wow.
This is 4 pounds. 4.5. The heaviest one is 5 pounds.
Very nice.
I looked through that whole rack and found these 4 pieces. I didn't need any quarter, but I went, shit, these are light. I gotta buy, and they're cheap. You know, they're $17 for a sheet of 16th, and I get these for $4. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I ain't paying $17 for a sheet of balsa wood. No way.
No, I can't either. I can't bring myself to do that.
They'll have to eat it. And if everybody has that idea, you know, the price will come down. If you keep buying it, they'll keep selling it at that stupid price.
Yeah. At this rate, carbon fiber is going to be cheaper than balsa wood, right, Cheyenne?
It will be.
Well, maybe not that, but
no, actually, you know, overall, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I put in materials about $200, $250 in one of my planes.
Yeah, but this guy's an artist too. I mean, what he does with carbon fiber is, it's not just that he molds the airplane. He's got the grain on it, and the checkerboard carbon fiber, and he's got the grains all right, and everything's just trying's on another level with that stuff. He's something else.
I think trying is on another level.
Kind of like Chris Cox's airplane, all carbon.
Yeah, Chris Cox's airplane is beautiful
Cox,
too.
I think he uses fiberglass.
Pardon?
Fiberglass?
I think he's using fiberglass.
So what you been up to, Trying? You been doing any flying or building?
No and no, but I'm having fun with the kids at the school. So that's good, I guess.
Very good. Very good.
Just, yeah. I want to see if I can get Howard to help me with something.
You still working those crazy hours?
Oh, they're gonna get crazier now.
Oh Lord.
Huh. I just got a link from Tom. Tom, I don't think if I hit the link, if it'll come out very nice. I'm afraid it'll be all choppy because my computer is just barely adequate. I hope to replace it soon so I can show videos without it being all choppy. So I don't want to risk it. It just might be a waste of my time.
But everybody can click on it, because I just clicked on it, and you can watch the video on YouTube.
All right, thank you, Sparky.
I can't get it to come up. Where does it come up?
On YouTube. PT7 Build and Fly RCE Cadet Airplane Flying Video First Flight. And I just see people standing around now. There we go.
Bring the link back up. Bring that link up if you can.
Can you share the link with us, Sparky?
You just go down
in
to
the
chat.
Oh, it's in chat? Okay.
Oh, okay. Be that way. See if I care.
I see that Jim Hoffman joined us and Mark Wise. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. And Jim, I did get the email with the information regarding the Southwestern Regionals and VSC. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm kind of, because I don't really have a classic plane that I built. Well, I don't get appearance points for SV11 either, but I'm not sure if I can do both of them. I'm trying to decide on one or the other.
Well, it's November. The VSE isn't until March.
You got
Yeah.
time to
Come
build
on,
4
man.
airplanes. You can build 4 of them.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm
Take
actually
a visit to St. Louis. The guy there will build you an airplane in 3 days. So
Wow.
I'm entertaining building a Hawker Hunter actually for classic.
Not 2 weeks.
yeah,
2 weeks.
I get
it's
friendly.
derived from a Shark 45, right?
I
So,
get
I have the
friendly.
Shark 45 kit already, so I just need the plans to make it into a Hawker Hunter.
Kit
Yeah.
or plans? Kit or plans?
I have the Shark 45 kit, and I have the plans for the Hawker Hunter.
Well, that's 40 hours. That's 1 week to put it together.
Why don't you just build the Shark 45?
yeah.
That's
You can
my
do that
We
question.
have to realize Sparky is insane.
Yeah.
I know the
Sparky can
Shark
do
45
things.
is a good flying plane in classic, right? Right, Jim?
Oh, it is.
Yes.
It's a great flying airplane.
You're going to do a lot worse. That's for sure.
I had one years ago, and I have another one downstairs. Not quite ready for paint, but the new one is Jim Lynch gave me the numbers off of his, and it's built like Jim's with one slight change. The power plant's different. It was going to be a Tiger 60 like Jim's, but now it buzzes. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the RSM kit is not even close to being a Shark. They took off a bunch of the cord at the wingtip. They moved the high point, can't remember, back. The fuselage is a lot wider than it's supposed to be. And I'm sure that was so they could put the PA 60s and 75s in them.
Yeah, mine was scratch built, and it's right off of the original plans. I got Charlie Reeves got me the plans.
Yep, that'll be perfect.
So yours is the Humbler, right, Philip?
Mine's a Humbler.
Yep.
Now I have the Jetco kit. That's the Shark kit I have is the Jetco one.
The Jetco's a good kit.
It is.
Yep.
Well, my dad had
Yep,
one
if you
way
start
back
now,
when.
you
I want to
have
build
enough
one
time.
just for that. So,
Yeah.
Sorry to eat, guys, but I don't get spaghetti very often.
All right, well, enjoy, man. Enjoy.
enjoy. Yeah,
I'm
we had
eating
it.
popcorn, so eat spaghetti, and then John Miller, he has Red Baron pizza. So, and usually Philip Bailey has an ice cream.
I already had it.
You already had it. Okay.
I didn't have enough for everybody, so I decided to eat it early.
Yeah, so we do eat on this show. It's okay. So try and I asked you about yourself. Let me ask Jim. So you've been doing any flying, Jim? I know that you've been gone doing a lot of traveling, and you just had a lot of stuff to catch up on. So I don't know if what you been up to, Jim?
So I did some VSC work this week. I got the flyer completed and distributed. We've submitted the sanction. I'm working on awards. So that's almost a year-round activity. So I gave that a push this week. And I've been wet sanding on the I-beamer. It's a painful process, so I try and do a little bit every day. And someday it'll be ready for buffing. The buffing goes fast with the Griot Garage power buffer, but the wet sanding is still slow.
You said Griot Garage. What is that?
I'll show you. One moment. One moment.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Hey,
Hey,
Mark.
Sparky.
Mark, thanks for coming in. Mark, how you doing?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I have decided to reside on this show so I can learn from the experts.
Very good. Very good.
He's in a lot of trouble. He just don't know it yet.
No. You learned some things from me about Pampa, maybe, and I learned some things from you about flying and trimming and that kind of stuff.
I learned some things from you watching you put batteries in your airplane.
Well,
He has Bill Werbage's P-47 for anybody that don't know it.
Yes.
And the thing is an absolute work of art.
it flies.
Oh, look at here.
G8. Okay, G8.
Let's see.
Okay. Wow.
Let me set this so you can see it. One moment.
All right, no problem.
We need random buffer. Where did you get that, Jim? Is that a Harbor Freight buffer?
No,
No, Gracious
there's
Garage.
a company. There's a company called Griot's Garage. Google them. They
Okay.
sell car stuff, car finishing stuff. And quite a number of people have bought this little widget. And it makes buffing out a stunt ship much, much faster. I know
nice.
Alan Ressinger has one. Warren has one. I think Chris Cox has one. I have one. Dave Riggs has one. I recommend it.
Wait a minute, leave it up there just a second longer. I've been buying stuff from them for years, and I've been mispronouncing the name for years.
I think it's French.
Down myself. Just 1 second to G.
Hey, Sparky, is that unit comparable to the one you're using? Snap-on, I think you said?
No, this is battery operated, and that looks like it's corded.
Yeah, this is corded.
Okay. Well,
But-
yeah, physically it looks like a different layout, a little shorter.
And that's
shorter
a
neck on it.
random orbital polisher. This is a buffer. It spins in one direction.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
my Makita buffer for cars down there.
All I can tell you is be very gentle when you go over those high beam ribs with that.
You bet.
If it's random orbital, it might want to be real gentle.
So how long have you had this, Jim? How long have you had yours?
Couple years. I've
Oh, you already used
done
it, Tim.
one,
Okay.
two. I've done 2 airplanes, and I'm about to do number 3.
Wow. Well, I've seen your airplanes. Your airplanes are beautiful, and Chris Cox.
Well, that's no joke.
And wrestling. What's his name? Ressinger.
Alan Ressinger.
I've seen his planes. They're exquisite. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in their league, but Alan is the one who introduced me to this tool, and I recommend it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I wrote it down, so I just got to see if it's in the budget. But I have other things I'm actually considering purchasing.
Well, it's the kind of tool you can share. I mean, I use it, 2 days a year.
Right, I follow. Yeah.
Harbor Freight sells something just like this for $50, $49.95, and if you ever get a coupon, it'll probably be cheaper. But it's pretty close to this. And John got one and does the same thing. This is like 500, so you don't need one of these.
Thank you.
Yeah, Alan Racing goes the wrong way.
I know. There was a good story. When he put in an active timer, he didn't set it up backwards the first flight, and that was a mess.
Wow.
Sorry, baby.
It accelerated where you wanted to decelerate, and vice versa.
Oh no! Oh wow!
It's okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare the baby. No.
I got that. I got it, Philip. I didn't know whose it was. I just guessed that it was yours, and I got it right the first time around.
Yeah.
And Chacha's with us. Hey, Chacha, your camera is not enabled, and your mic is muted. And then Howard Rush, he's probably eating with his with Mary Lou, I imagine. So, anyways, I was wondering, has anybody ever, as far as filming their flights, does anybody try to record their flights so you can kind of see what's going on with when you're flying, your pattern? You have, Dennis?
Yeah, I just tried last year, just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I you set up my iPhone on my chair. I kind of rigged it up so it wouldn't fall over is about it. And I just wanted to see if I could learn anything from it, and got a nice little vid on it and everything. I don't know, it's without if the camera angle isn't right, I mean, if you're not like right on, it's almost worthless, I think. But uh, I don't know. It's just I was flying by myself, and it's like you don't normally learn anything flying by yourself. So I was hoping to get possibly watching recordings, I might be able to learn a little bit more. But,
And
so
that's what I'm going to do this time for my preparation for next year is film more of me flying. I know that Tryon, you've been videotaping your flights. What kind of camera are you using?
I just use my iPhone camera.
Your iPhone? Okay. Do you put it on a
Yeah.
tripod or something?
Yep.
Okay. I don't have an
It's simple as
iPhone.
that. And what I want to do next year, in preparation, I want to do that video augmentation, with the video tracing.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's perhaps the best way to see what you're doing or what you're not doing correctly. It requires some times to set it up, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm actually entertaining. I have a Sony camera and it works, but I got to be so far back to get the whole everything framed in there. So I'm wondering about a GoPro camera. I know they have some wide angle GoPro features. So I've been doing a lot of research and watching YouTube videos on GoPro cameras and the Action 4 camera as well.
Yeah. If you looked at Alberto Solara, I think he has something in Stunthangar about the video recording, and he has a link to his website over there. In the link, you're gonna see the second version where it does the actual augmentation, where it paints the maneuvers in sky, and you can shift them, rotate them around to fit wherever you put the maneuver. And it doesn't matter what camera you decide to use. You use whatever camera you want to. But there's a mini program that runs on the background. You take that camera and take a video of like a square board, right? Like something that you know it's square and orthogonal. Take a video of that, and the mini file interprets the way the camera views the world through the lens, and then it straightens up everything, adjusts everything to make it like in a better shape, and puts everything in perspective. The 45-degree line, the level up line. Well, it takes some time to get used to it and stuff like that. And honestly, I haven't done it yet, but I've read a lot about it, and I've seen people and that do videos like this, particularly in north east contest around here, where what's his name?
yeah, that's it. What's his name has the program. So unusual name, it's hard to remember.
Bosnia. He's from Bosnia.
Yes, he's that. He's not. Yeah, yeah. I was going to say Russian, Slavic, anyways, Slavic name. Anyways, but he's doing a great job with it, and you can see them at the contests around the Northeast. And you can follow flight after flight after flight, and they go like. Once you look at that, you're gonna say, "Yeah, I have a lot of work to do."
Right. Yeah, I had a video of me flying recently, and I came to that same conclusion. I have a lot of work to do, which I'm not surprised because I was disappointed in how I flew at the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge. Actually, I was more disappointed with the results, not so much how I flew because I thought I was flying pretty good. But when I saw the video, I go, "Oh, now I see."
Yep.
I was just...
Now, if you have a good body next to you that can see 45-degree angle and stuff like that, I think that's the biggest thing I need right now. And the one thing that really boosted my flying, it's shifting my flying style to visualizing. Right now, just like I could pretty much put the plane wherever I want to put it, or at least I can tell my mistakes immediately.
Go ahead, Bart.
I think there's a lot of things you can do by yourself. Some is, I think I've mentioned this, in your house, practice with your hand and going up the door frame because it's vertical, and that will give you a good start. And the same across the ceiling a little bit. And then when you're out in the field, take some triangles and stuff with you and just hold them up, and you can, equilateral triangle, visualize your triangle, the angle that you have to be at. So there's some stuff you can do that way too that'll help you out.
Good idea. I have not done that yet. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes, Sparky.
Back in the 90s, I was using an FM headset, and it worked okay, but the reception was kind of spotty. So what I've come up with now, we're going to do it next season, and I do have a Nats judge that lives here, Steve, and I'm helping him with his airplane. He's going to help me. We're going to get earpiece and microphone and put your cell phone in your pocket, and then he can be on the outside, talk to me.
Correct.
What I'm doing wrong.
That's a great idea.
But I used to do that in the 90s with an FM headset.
Great idea. Yeah, with the cell phones, you could just have a wireless earbuds or something. You can hear what they're saying and you can talk back.
Right.
Sparky, we do it with earbuds.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can get earbuds now that are, they're cheap.
I got them right here.
You just use that on your cell phone. It works great.
Right here.
Yeah, I use my phone will stream directly to my hearing aids, so it's like I'm carrying my earbuds all along. So that would work out really well for listening. At least.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do any favors for the guy I was talking to somebody, but I could certainly listen. So
Danny, I sent you something on your phone.
I saw.
Okay.
I have to get back with Larry and make sure he apparently has some bad contact info for you or something like that. So
yeah.
Okay.
I have some comments in the chat box. Let me get to that right now. Minnesota Mike, he says, Charles, that was in Winnipeg. Thank you, Minnesota Mike. Appreciate that. Regarding when I saw Lynn Burrell fly, that was in Winnipeg, I guess. Thank you. And then Ara, he says, back to the old engines. I've got the first post World War II production Denny-mite engine that Reginald Denny gave to Dave Slegg in 1946. It's a control line relic. Marilyn Monroe could have worked on it at the factory.
She legend is she worked at the factory, but she was like 15 years old or something like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
That is interesting. And then he goes on to say, perhaps Dennis or Bart can explain the names. And then he says, what to do with it? AMA Brodak Museum? Question mark.
Contact the Brodak Museum. They have a pretty good collection there. I don't know. Ara, if you've been there, you may know if they already have a Denny-mite on display.
I don't remember.
I don't remember specifically either, but they're pretty well organized. Bob Zambelli would know because he worked on setting up an awful lot of that. But if they don't have one, bring it with you next June and talk to Buzz, and I'm sure that if you want to donate it or something like that, she'd be happy to do that. So.
And then Philip Bailey, thank you for the like. Matter of fact, speaking of likes, we only have 15 likes. We have 25 concurrent viewers, and so if you haven't hit the like button, please hit that. Please consider joining our YouTube channel. It only costs $4.99 a month. It's just 17 cents a day, actually less than 17 cents a day, and it helps us out. And we have no super chats, so do the super chat if you can't do the memberships, and we're all caught up on that. Thank you very much. So Chacha, Yeah, well, you must be busy, Chacha. I was hoping that I could see you and hear from you tonight, but I just see your name. Mark, have you got that picture loaded of the Orion?
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
Must be a big picture, Mark.
No, I got a bunch of pictures.
Ah,
Oh, great. Great. Well, you know what?
In fact, I think I'm about ready here if you want to.
Oh, great. 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 I think I have it set up so you can share.
When you share, do you hit the share button, then turn a video on, or do you have to? Is that how that works?
You in reverse. You bring up the item you want first, whether it be a picture or a video, then you hit the share button and then you reselect it. There'll be like a
Okay, I think
a
that's
gallery will come up and then you can share.
Let Mark go ahead. I just wondered how that worked, and then I'll show you the bean field.
Man, that was good.
Okay, let's try this and see what happens.
Oh wow, very nice.
Yeah,
Great.
that's cute. That's cool.
So what's the wingspan on that and the engine? What's just give me perspective of how big it is.
It's about 54 inches.
Okay.
That better?
Yeah, very nice.
That should fly good.
Where's the pilots?
Sound like Keith Russell.
He's out to lunch.
He fell out.
He bailed out. Went to lunch.
So what size engine do you have in that?
You seeing all those names and things and menus in front of the picture, or you seen the picture?
Just seeing the picture.
Okay, good.
What size engine do you have in there?
It's a Aero Tiger 36.
Wow.
This is a Charles Parrott design from 1961. He built a Ryan, and Dave Humstrut built a PT-19. They were friends.
Yeah. That's a real cute little airplane.
And then here's a picture of it. This is at Brodax, I think, in 2014.
Oh, that looks nice. I like those wheel pans.
Gliding in for a landing. Yeah, I took it to Brodax last year, and I had these wheel pants got all beat up, so I put on the grass gear, which doesn't look as nice, but
That's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what kind of paint is that, Mark?
it's Brodax dope.
That theme on the rudder with the yellow and the black leading edge on the rudder and white and red stripes, it's so classic for the planes of that era.
Yeah, it's not black; it's insignia blue here, but that's it looks black on the picture.
Yeah. But I see so many of them like that in like gliders from that time frame.
Yeah.
1940s rudder scheme.
Yeah, it's a standard Air Corps paint scheme.
Right. What?
And this is what happened to it.
Oh,
was that in real life a trainer?
Yeah,
the real plane was. Yeah.
Yellow wings and yeah.
Mark, what did you want to do that for?
I ran out of gas in a bad place.
Lord.
Stick it back together and hit it with some CA.
Well, and here's what I did next. I let it sit around for a few years and worked on some other projects, and then I got back to this and I built a new nose for it. And since
What's good, Mark?
Oh, he dropped.
No, he just muted. Unmute yourself, Mark. Your mic is muted for some reason.
That's better?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the mold. I used a mold to do the top shell here, so I still had the mold. and I was able to make another shell.
The stars on the wing. The stars on the wing. Is that a decal or is that all paint?
No, that's paint.
Very
You're
good.
as crazy as I am. That's the way I'm doing mine on my humongous.
The way I put this thing back together was I put it in my vise, and then I had the nose clamped in there, and I could lower the plane down into the nose.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, yours is silver, mine's blue, but other than that, they're pretty much the same.
I carefully aligned everything. Once I got it lined up like I wanted, and I took some CA and made it permanent.
Mark, you built all the Charles Parrott airplanes. Which one do you think's the best? Or are they all pretty much the same?
Well, so far I think the P-40 is the best, but I'm working on another P-47.
Okay.
I think that'll be better. We'll see. And here was today. I started flying it again a couple of years ago and off and on. And like I said, I took it to Prodax last year.
Didn't you have that at VFC one year?
Yeah, I've had it at VSC.
Yeah, I saw
several times, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was this morning at the field. I said the weather was beautiful, and the grass is dying now, so it's all getting real short.
Mm.
So I didn't have any trouble with it flipping over in the grass.
Cool.
Very nice.
Anyway, I've got some social problems that a few of you know about trying to get to VSC this year. My family conflicts. And Keith Russell said he would take the airplane down for me. So the gear on this one is removable. So this is the plane I'm planning to take to VSC this year.
Good.
I'll take the gear off, and then Keith can more easily get it in his car. So.
Very nice.
That's what I got for today.
Very good.
Very nice.
Who's that group picture of? The one that the two, you didn't show that one.
Oh, this one. That's because it disappeared on me. Let's try again. That's Hemstrut and Parrott.
Yeah.
Some guy, I can't remember who it was, somebody on Stunthangar had that picture. And it was all faded out. And I emailed them. I said, if you send me that, I'll put it in Photoshop, and I think I can improve on it. So I got the colors to be a lot more vivid.
Well, you sure did. That looks great.
It does.
That's got to be like 1962 or 3 or so.
Yeah. I think it would have been about 62.
Wow.
Well,
Did
Dave
Hemstrut die, or is he still alive?
He's still alive, as far as I know.
Well, Davis.
I think he passed away.
Dave brought one
shucks.
EFC and wanted me to fly it, but it's too close to my. Before I was supposed to fly my PT-19, and he had a KMB 40 in it with a cut down 11.5 to 10.5.5, and it flew really well.
Yeah, he had one of those KMB 40s like Les flew.
Yeah.
Those are Stan Powell engines, weren't they?
Stan Powell motors, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they ran like watches.
Yeah, Stan told me he's going to sell me one of those or send me one of those, but I haven't heard any more about it.
You probably heard you were going electric.
Well, I'm going electric, but I still would like to have one of Stan's motors if I just put it behind a glass case.
Well,
I've known Stan for a lot of years, and he's a class act. He's a mess, but he's a class act.
Uh-huh. I wish he'd build some doves again. So.
Well, Stan has a little trouble with vertigo now.
Ah.
He's getting old like the rest of us, and he's having some problems with vertigo. I did see him fly pattern about 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago at Huntersville. He came to one of the club meetings and flew. And he said that can of fuel was 20 years old, I think it was. And he opened it and it burnt, and he flew well with it. It was a metal can. And he looked like first flight, he looked like he was just getting dizzy sick. Second flight, he looked like he was doing a little better. In the third flight, it looked like he could have flown. I mean, he looked like he was not his old self, but he was better than a lot. You know, he was doing well.
Yeah.
And the fourth flight, I left, but when I heard his fourth flight, they said it looked like he was ready to go to a contest. So he comes back, he gets it back so quick. It's just amazing. Stan's, he was always an interesting fellow, but he hasn't lost it.
Yeah. Really neat guy. I used to like hanging out with him. Of course, I only saw him like at contests, you know, at the big contests. So I'd only see him like once or twice a year, if that. But yeah, I
That's
always
all I
enjoyed
ever
hanging
saw
out
him.
with
And,
him.
we didn't live that far apart. He was in Charlotte for years, and I'm in Winston, which is an hour apart. But he would be, Stan was here yesterday. You know, I always heard stuff like that.
Yeah. Should have been here yesterday. So
yeah. That's
but,
a fisherman's tale.
And by the way, the Hemstraws PT-19, Will Davis restored what I guess was the last one that Dave built, which I understand was actually a little bit bigger than the one that was kitted and the ones that he published and stuff like that. It was like a late series PT-19.
Yeah, Will had that
actually
airplane
converted
at
it to electric
King
and
Orange that
everything
flew
else.
it there.
Yeah, he's been kicking butt up and down the East Coast with that thing for the last 2 years.
Flies well. I think you know, obviously if it was a new build and stuff, he probably could have built it quite a bit lighter, and that would have it would really shine then. But it's still a real pleasure watching that thing fly. So
yeah, he said it was very oil soaked when he got it, but he's a good builder and a good rebuilder. And he's turned into a good flyer. I think the only reason Will hasn't won the Nats in advanced class is because he doesn't want to fly with the Sharks. He's always in the top 5. And I don't think he's pushing trying to win it. He enjoys where he's flying. But Will's a lot better flyer than he lets on. He's a great guy.
Did you have a comment or go ahead, Phil? I'm sorry.
He's a little crazy, but then we all are.
I understand he's really good at cooking breakfast. That's what Mark W. says.
Oh man, anyway. I'm telling you, he puts on the dog at meals, man. If he says he's going to cook, you don't ask questions. Just what time do I need to be there?
Yeah,
that's it.
Well,
he will feed the whole crowd.
Let me tell you something about the first time he and I got together at Triple Tree. I didn't know him; he didn't know me. But we got together, got to be quick friends, and we're sitting there one night outside of his camper. And he said, you know, the first year I was at the Nats, I was Rookie of the Year. I said, really? He said, no. And then about 15 minutes later, he was talking about VSC. He said, first time I was out there, came in second. I said, man, that's unreal. Really? He said, no. So it's taken me about 14 years to believe anything.
That's funny.
But he is a good cook. That he is.
He's a great cook. Yeah.
I think Stuart Moore is trying to say something or have a question. Go ahead, Stuart.
I was just going to show you that the bean field.
Okay, thank you.
This is I'll see if I can get this to work. I've never done this, so this is. Oh, okay, that's weird. Oh,
Mark, while he's working on that, I got word just a few minutes ago that at the club meeting in Huntersville Saturday at noon, he's going to cook hot dogs. Guess where I'm going to be Saturday?
Oh, I know where you'll be.
Probably going to be eating hot dogs, aren't you?
He's going to bring mustard.
Brother, I did not get this physique for missing many meals.
Bill, just make sure you bring your buns.
Yeah.
Always count on Mark for a buzzer, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think that sounds like too much information at that point.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Does anybody know, does the Flying Lines website, do they have a search so you can find the Paul Walker article on the trim? I'd like to bring up his
Google search. Use Google.
All right, I want to bring up his trim
Google
chart.
search it. That'll work.
What you do, Charles, is in Google, type in flying lines, whatever the name of the website is, flying line control line or whatever it is, and then make a space, and then in parentheses type in Paul Walker's trim chart and a space, and it'll Google search is faster than any search out there.
All right, thank you, Sparky.
Can you see that at all?
No.
Okay. I'm on a Apple, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work.
All right, it's coming up.
Okay.
Oh, that's the bean field? Well, that's
Yeah.
that looks pretty good.
Oops. Did I lose it? Oh, just a sec. Yeah, this is what we've been dealing with. See the corn?
Yeah.
It's like about 20, maybe 30 feet from the edge of the field. So when you fly, the corn's about 11 feet this year. So it's like when you fly, you pretty much almost have to fly at the height of the corn.
Okay.
The wind coming over this, it's pretty brutal. I almost lost my plane once this year because it was going too low. But I'll show you just another one, maybe. I don't know if I can.
It's called corn altitude.
Yep.
Yeah. We have trees that are closer than that. We have thick trees that are closer than that. Good gracious.
There you can see it. It's 2/3 worth.
Yeah, Huntersville, if you're stepping in the wrong spot, you could clip a tree.
That's the truth. Charlie Reeves can attest to that.
So I just thought I'd show you that quick.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's neat. Y'all got a nice place to fly.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Thing about Huntersville is you got an aircraft carrier jump. It's got a ski lift on one of the circles.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to try to land back there. I discovered that the hard way.
Yeah, run right into the ground.
Well, I just kept hearing something going shh. And then I thought, darn, I heard my wheels touch early. I didn't think they were down yet. And I got the plane on the ground and realized it wasn't down yet. That was the wingtip touching the asphalt over there. Just about down. Had to go back and touch that up.
Yeah, the turbulence off that corn was pretty bad.
There you go. Well, we got trees that are that close, and I mean full-size trees on three sides. So you're not hurting too bad.
So is this showing up pretty big? I can't really see what I'm sharing very well for some reason. We're going to just go through the trim chart a little bit. I know last time we talked about de-warping your plane because you have a plane that's not straight. It's really hard to trim it out. So these are the steps. The first criteria is to check your wings. Make sure your wings are level. And then if your wings are not level, you want to adjust your flaps. Now you want to check your wings are level, both upright and inverted.
Correct.
Make sure you don't have a warp, or make sure you might. I mean, you also can determine if you need to add some wingtip weight or not. Take out some wingtip weight to get your wings level. So that's the first criteria. Anybody else have any comments regarding the first criteria?
That was a great article. Good chart.
If you got a warp in your, if your wings aren't level and you adjust the flaps, when you take it home, there's a reason why you needed to adjust the flaps. You need to inspect the wing and steam it straight, and then put the flaps back to zero. Because if you're running with the flaps tweaked, at some point in the pattern, in the maneuver, it's going to ill affect you. So it's best to have a straight wing and straight flaps. Like I had the same problem with this airplane.
Go ahead, Bart. Thank you, Sparky.
Well, that was always my saying. You fix a problem with another problem.
Right.
You know,
Exactly right.
Straighten the wing or whatever it takes.
How about you, Gordon? You have anything else to say, Gordon?
No, I think Sparky nailed it perfectly. You know, after you get it trimmed, while you're at the field, go home and then fix the problem.
yep.
And if
Go
you
ahead.
tweak a flap, it will affect a problem like Bart's saying on certain maneuvers. It's going to hurt you during the maneuver.
Yep.
But sometimes your flaps might be put in the wrong position from the get-go. I built a plane and the flaps were you know, like this, and then I just brought it back to normal. The plane was fine.
Yep.
So make sure you cure the correct problem. Maybe tweaking the flaps was the good thing to do from the get-go, and that's where the problem was.
Yeah, I think building on that a little bit, you probably heard the term bench trimming, and I know we always used to laugh about that. Oh, I got the best flying bench in the round. You know, no, that's not what it is. What it is you go through and like Tryon says, before you go to the field the first time, you just inspect the heck out of the airplane, and if
Yes.
you'll make sure it's your last chance to check to make sure the flaps are level with each other and the elevators are level with each other, that the elevator neutral is as close as you can possibly make it. You know, check the balance point and see if it, you know, make sure that it's, you know, in a good place or a safe place at least. Check your wingtip weight, make sure that it's, make sure you have it. All right. There's a lot of people, I've heard of people, you know, they build in their adjustable weight box and everything like that and go out to the field and can't understand why the wing's flapping all over. Well, they never bothered to put anything in the tip weight box. All right. I mean, silly things like that. But yeah, the idea of bench trimming before you even
I know a guy like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, you know, and that's just building on Tryon's point is, you know, fix the obvious. You know, before you gotta start at a ground, you know, some kind of a ground zero point before you even get out to the field. So
let's say you're at the flying field and you tweak the flaps to get your wing to fly level. So you know you have a problem. So you take your plane back home and so how do you set the plane up so you can find the warp?
I just look at it from the back. Look through the wing. You want to imagine that you're looking into the wing. You want to imagine that the trailing edge or the leading edge is lining up with the trailing edge. If it's up or down, you can see it. I can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty visible most of the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bart.
Yeah.
There's another way you can do that. If you have a big mirror, such as in your bathroom sink or something, you can hold the nose toward you, look at the airplane in the mirror, and sometimes it's a lot easier to see.
All right.
Really, I've never tried that one.
Neither.
Yeah, the mirror will basically double the distance because you put some distance between you and the plane. Instead of being so close to it, if you're from further out, you can see it better. So I guess hence the mirror.
Makes sense. Sure.
Okay. The reason why I asked, I was just wondering if you can put the plane on the bench and maybe take a height guide and go all the way around.
That's what I was going to say. You can chalk the fuselage up level, or I'd use two of those Dubro, whatever you call them things. I forgot the name of them.
Incidence
meter. There you go, incidence meter. Chalk it up where you know everything, the wing and the tail are straight, and then go around and take just a machinist rule off the bench and look up to the center point of the leading edge and the center point of the trailing edge on both ends and see if it's twisted. You'll see it.
That kind of makes sense.
I set mine up on the bench and then I move across the room.
There you go.
So I can get a further distance and it's easy to spot them that way.
Well, my shop's so darn tight, there's no get away from it. By the time you got a big stunner in there, you're committed.
Go on a back porch with it.
Yeah, well.
Now, my particular instance on
work.
This airplane was a little bit difficult because the wing wasn't warped. The flap was twisted.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah,
And-
that could be a good one.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see it. And Joe Gilbert says, "Hey man, you got a twist in the flap." And once he pointed out to me, I went, "Yeah, you're right." So
Yeah.
Hey, Sparky, do you make your flaps removable?
I don't, but these, I mean, the way that these are built, you can remove them, but I don't
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
Why would you remove the flaps unless you needed to remove a wing or something like that?
Because you can
Well, those-
experiment with different size flaps for
Oh, that
different
makes sense.
materials.
Well, if you had an issue with a warp flap or something like that, if it's easily removable and stuff like that, it makes it a little easier to work on it, on the
I got a
direct
Dremel
drop
tool,
one.
just whack, the hinge goes off and it comes right off.
Mhm.
Just take the whole damn
Hmm.
thing.
Well, Paul in his article talks about that, and he said if you really want to find out where the problem in your wing is, make removable flaps and fly it without the flaps. See what it does.
Yeah, that was an interesting concept. I'd never thought of anything like that, but it made sense.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Yep. At least you eliminate the flaps as a variable.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice
Exactly.
idea. I
And
like
Paul
it.
also talks about raising your handle up to your face,
Yeah.
so you can sight down the lines, and then you looks at the outboard wingtip in correlation to the. That's if you're by yourself. Correlation with the lines. Now, when I sight down the lines, I almost get dizzy. So I just tried that for a little bit, and I got a little bit dizzy. So, but for those who can do that, that would be a way to identify if you're flying by yourself.
Yeah, I'm not doing it for sighting purposes. I do it just to hold my handle vertical in level flight.
Yeah, Bart had a problem with flap horn one time on his profile. So when he give up, the flap stayed level. Remember that, Bart?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The horn broke at the solder on the flap.
I was trying to figure out what was going
man.
on. Okay.
And what was strange, it flew so good.
Without the flaps.
Probably because you had much less flap deflection.
Yeah.
It flew
you
great.
had some flap deflection over there. A little bit should have been something over there.
What'd you do?
I
Just
had
leave it as
none.
is? What'd you do? Leave it as is? It flew good.
The flaps were just following the airstream.
So you left it like that.
I should have.
Well, and the airplane had a light wing loading, 640 squares, and he only weighed 45 ounces.
There you go.
I think if you have 15 degrees of flaps up and down is more than enough.
Yeah. Bart, let me guess, you went home, fixed it, and screwed the airplane up.
Well, it was I screwed up and crashed it later, but it did it. It was a good flight airplane. Either way, with flaps, whatever, it was a good flying airplane.
Is it okay?
I've honestly.
Is it okay to tell him how you lost that airplane, Bart?
You can.
Can I? You won't get mad at me?
Well, you'll get something in the mail that might blow up.
Well, he's over at the park here when he was visiting me, and he takes off, does a couple lazy eights, and he flies around a couple more laps and goes in the reverse swing over and never pulled out, just went and pile drived it straight in.
I was having some problems at that time, and also had pretty bad cataracts, and I just couldn't make up my mind, and it went straight in. So ruined a really good airplane.
Your exact words, you had a brain fart.
I had a bark fart.
There we go. I want to just clarify something for our audience. I know that a lot of us are very experienced pilots. So, I want to clarify. We mentioned warps. And then the other thing which could cause your wing to not be level is weight. So if you're flying upright and your outboard wingtip is high, both inverted and upright, then you would add wingtip weight to bring it down level. Just to clarify that. And of course, when you're flying with a warp, Upright, you could have your wingtip could be up, and then when you fly inverted, that warp would make that wingtip down. So that's kind of how you would differentiate between wingtip weight and warp, because those might be confusing for our audience.
Yeah.
And
too much wingtip weight, it'll be exaggerated wing droop in the maneuvers.
Yeah.
Right.
You're putting more force on it. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, differentiate between the two.
Okay.
The only thing I found
well,
on
there's
this
actually
chart.
one more angle on that too, guys. Got a wingtip weight box. You put an ounce of weight in the box. It doesn't mean you have an ounce of offset in the weight. All right. Reason being is that a certain amount of that weight is only offsetting the weight of the lead outs.
And the
It
guy
brings it back to equal on both sides. Then after anything you have to add after that is the actual wingtip weight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So really, again, part of the bench trimming process. I mean, I set my airplanes up, put a battery in it and everything like that, just like a reel. And I set the thing up on the fuselage, usually on the back of the fuselage, and balance it on the spinner in the back of the fuselage. And I will weigh the outboard wingtip, all right? Put whatever weight I need to make the wingtip weigh 0. And that basically, and then I'll add my weight from there. So,
Bart, just to go back for just a sec, you said that too much wing weight, something to do with doing the maneuvers or something. I missed.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you've got too much wingtip weight, when you go in a maneuver, the wing will enhance its droop because you have a lot more centrifugal force pushing it down, and instead of flying level, it'll turn this way.
That's the hinging.
Both ways.
Part 3, adjust tip weight. It'll
Correct.
flux.
Yeah.
Take a hard turn, it'll drop. Or
Right.
when you come around a corner, you'll see it do the Herkel jerkle, where it's trying to line up.
It'll drop. Yeah, it'll drop inside and outside maneuvers.
That's
the only thing I disagree with on this chart, and I've used this thing for ever since it's been out, probably 20 years now. It shows adjust tip weight, lead out position. The one thing it should clarify somewhere is do one of them and try it, and then do the other one. Don't do both of them. Like on this number 4, adjust lead outs, tip weight, engine offset, and rudder. Never do all that on one stop, unless you got somebody like Bob Whiteley there and anyway, unless you got somebody there with you that really knows trimming, because he could watch you fly a plane and tell you 3 trim changes to make, and it'd be right. But anybody else I've ever flown with, make one trim change at a time.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we were talking about tip weight. 1 year, Casmanado lost his airplane, and I let him fly my Colossus. And he says, "Can I put my handle?" "Yeah, you can do anything you want with the airplane." So we went out early, and he put a couple flights on it. And he says, "Do you care if we retrim it a little bit?" And I says, "Do anything you want." He says, "I'd like to take the tip weight out of it." So we rolled it over, pulled the top off, and there was no tip weight in it. So then he thought, "Oh, I got an idea." I had a sealed hinge line. He says, "Can we cut part of that tape off on the outboard wing?" So we took off about 4 or 5 inches off the outboard wing, and he flew it again. Just right. And if he'd got appearance points, he would have beat me with it.
Wow.
Yeah, the hinge tape does quite a bit. You don't realize it, but it really does work.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. I never heard of that before.
So what I want to say, do not misinterpret this chart, okay? When it says criteria number 3 hinges, adjust tip weight and lead out position, because either one of them will influence that criteria number 3, right? So you test with one of them, see what works, test with the other one, and obviously you do one change at a time, but it doesn't mean you adjust both of them every flight.
Now, Paul says that in the article. He said,
Yeah.
try this first. If it doesn't work, then try these other things.
Yeah, but
Okay,
most people
but
will look at this chart and not read the article. That's what I'm trying to.
yes. Okay.
I'm not
All
going
right.
to tell Paul Walker how to do a chart.
Oh God, me either. If Paul says it, I want a copy of it. I want to hear it. I want to keep it where I can refer to it.
Yep.
Because this thing helped me out more than I thought I knew how to trim an airplane. And he came out with this chart, and I retrimmed an old airplane by this chart, and it never flew that well before.
Now,
But
what
for
would be
people,
nice, what would be nice to have in this chart is that how does the tip weight influence hinging? If you have too
yeah,
much, it's gonna do this. If you don't have enough, it's gonna do this. Look for this, look for that. The same for lead out position, right? Lead out position like this influence this in hinges, that in hinging, right? And you know, so on and so forth, you know. This is so broad. Here, adjust tip weight. Okay, how? How do I know I have too much or not enough? Maybe you want to have a little bit extra,
well,
you know?
this is a starting point for people, though. It's not the whole story, but Paul's teaching us all we know, but not all he knows.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that what it should be implicit in any of that is whenever you make a change is it better? All right.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
sometimes, you know, you're adjusting hinging or something like that. You think the tip weight is wrong or something like that, and you adjust the tip weight. Did the airplane get better? Did the issue get better? Did it get better? I was
Yeah.
doing that with the Mobas last year. I was removing tip weight. I thought had what looked like a hinging problem, and I kept removing tip weight, and the hinging problem wouldn't go away. And it was very, very subtle, very slight. Nobody could see it except me from the pilot seat. Uh, I actually removed so much tip weight that the airplane was still hinging, but it was flying like it didn't have enough tip weight in it. All of a sudden, it was just kind of starting to kite around the sky and stuff like that. So put some back in. Uh, but in this case, the best position for the tip weight uh, still had a small hinging issue. So the hinging was being caused by something else that I still haven't identified. Now, one thing, and looking at it here, I have never made an association between hinge late or hinging and lead out position. So I might have to look at that a little bit closer.
Do you know why that's important? And I preach it as when I design an airplane, and there's guys that have 70 years experience. I only got 60 years. When I set it up, when I set my airplanes up, I want the bell crank just behind the spar, and the lead outs I put where I think they're going to be. Where, see, my center of gravity is way far forward on this airplane, so from the center of the lead outs to the center of the bell crank is where you place your tip weight box. If you put it back here or up here or whatever, it causes the airplane to do the herky jerky and the turns.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't believe that. And I don't care what anybody says, bell crank location is a big deal. Howard.
There's
What do you mean when you say you put it right behind the spar? The hinge point is right behind the spar.
No.
Let me get rid of this. Hang on. Let me get rid of the chart so I can make you big, Sparky. Just a second. Okay.
All right. Way back during the Stuka stunt days, Howard tried to pull a trick on me by making some kind of thing. You put the bell crank on the trailing edge, and it doesn't make a difference. Well, damn sure does.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, my bell crank is right here at the high point of the wing because the fuel tank is right here. Everything's moved back. The fuel tank is right here. So I plot my center of gravity where I know that it's going to be, which is right. It's way forward on this airplane. It's right here is my center of gravity. And on the normal stunners that everybody else is flying, it's way back here because they're so damn heavy. But you go from the center of the lead out through the center of the bell crank with a straight line, and put your tip weight box on that line. That way, centrifugal force keeps everything in a straight line as it's going around the corner. It's not trying to catch up. When, especially
It
if you're
makes sense.
especially if you're running big heavy weights. I only got a half ounce in this. I like asymmetry. This only has 3/4 in it, but the other one has 1 3/4 asymmetry in it. And so that you don't have to run as much tip weight. Use the wing to your advantage to hold the lines up.
Makes sense.
Very good. Thank you, Sparky.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, I know Al Raby used to preach put the bell crank as far forward as you can get it.
Oh, that's terrible too.
And I tried it on a few airplanes. I built 3 of the same airplane, and I put one where it showed on the plans. I put one where the bell crank almost rubbed the leading edge, and I put one just in between. And the stock location was, the pin was just right, just 1/8 of an inch behind the spar, and it was mounted on 2 pieces of basswood like Bob Hunt does, right up on the spar, one at the top of the skin, one at the bottom, and the top skin touched it, and that held the bell crank in place. The one that was out front, of course, you had to reverse it and put that in front of the spar. But the one in front of the spar, I always had problems with it doing just what you're saying. When it hit a hard corner, and that thing would want to shake. And the one that was on the spar, just behind the spar, just as smooth as it could be. I've still got it. The other 2, one I sold and one I crashed.
You want it just behind the plotted center of gravity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Howard put his on the trailing edge. What that does, I've tried it all, in practical, and I can feel it. The farther back you put the bell crank, the more nose heavy the airplane feels, whether it is or not. You got a longer distance, a longer moment arm from the center of the bell crank to the end of the spinner, and you put it way up here, then it feels tail heavy. So you try to put it at the high point of the wing or just behind about where the center of gravity is. Not only that, if you put it on the trailing edge, like even Bob Hunt says that you can do that, put it on the trailing edge, the lead out angle is so weird that it would cause premature wear in the thing.
Yeah, it would.
Well, there's the wear is coming from a lot of friction, and the friction would manifest itself in an airplane that felt like it was nose heavy too.
You bet.
It manifests itself in an airplane that wouldn't score very well.
I don't know. I'm fond of making the lead outs making the whole control system as mechanically balanced as possible, which means bell crank awful close to the CG, so that you have an equal lead out angle, front and back lead out, if you can get there, ideally.
Now, years ago, there was something
and I haven't gone as far as Howard. I haven't twisted the output arm, to go perpendicular and all that kind of stuff. But mine are all simple mechanic, just simple bell cranks.
Years ago, there was something on Stuka about engineering geometry of how the bell crank throw works. I didn't quite understand it in mathematical terms, but to me, I'm the TLAR guy. That looks about right, and it was correct, but I didn't understand the math. And there's some type of engineering thing where it goes over center. How does that work, Howard? Where it goes over center and it exponentially moves faster?
I don't know. I got a program that you can figure it out with. I did some calculation on it and posted it on Sparky's board not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
The self-centering bell crank, I did a thing on that. I was curious about that.
That thing Igor uses, that Rube Goldberg flap horn, does that thing work, and what does it feel like? I mean, I don't understand why you want to put all that crazy contraption in your airplane.
Makes it fly well. Well,
what does it do? How does it
on the airplane? But It's like you have less flap in corners and more in round maneuvers. So it makes the corners good. I got it in my dog.
What
Last
does
year.
it
So
feel
long
like on
story
the end of
short,
the hand?
yeah, the logarithm. This is called the logarithmic control system.
Yeah, it's
And
really
what
not.
Igor was trying to accomplish, he was trying to get more force applied to the flaps in the corners, which means on a maximum deflection.
You know what the
And by
solution to that
putting
problem is?
the contraption in there, he actually like amplifies the force so he can hold that flaps in position, moved, right? So that was the whole logic behind it. But they're also going to make it more sensitive around the neutral. The flaps are going to move a lot more around neutral, and it's going to slow down as it reaches the extent of its travel.
The correct solution for this problem is lose the weight. Them airplanes are overweight. You don't need all that crap.
Trust me, those guys don't build heavy planes, man.
They're flying electric, right? That battery's heavy.
So what? They have all of their planes weigh like 50 some ounces, 58, 55 or something like that, and they are pretty big planes. They don't
Igor's
build
is
heavy
55,
planes.
and it's a big airplane.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I've been there. I've seen them. They're light. Okay.
Hey guys, I unfortunately have to pick up my daughter, so I'm going to end the stream a little bit early. I got to pick up my daughter. My wife's not up to it, so I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight, and we're going to continue on with this Paul Walker's trim chart. We did the criteria 1. I'd like to in our next meeting after we get through with what we each been doing, we can talk about criteria 2, which is the pitch sensitivity. And so I'd like to invite you to come back. And if you have any ideas on that or information about that, maybe even read the article so that we can do a really good job covering this trim chart. And with that being said, fair winds, tight lines. I'm just going to end the live stream. You guys can continue on.
Okay.
Pick up my daughter.
I was going to suggest that you post the link to the whole series of articles.
That's a great idea. Let me see here. Okay, I'll post it in the forum.
Yeah, post it in the meeting notice. That would be good.
All right.
He also has a really good series on flying in the wind.
Yes. Maybe we'll do that after we do the trim chart.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it. And so we
Take care, guys.
We'll see you Friday.
Have a great week. We'll see you Friday.